Greetings. I am Bishop Oshone, the Queen's Bishop from the Council of Ancestors. I have come today to inform you that there are a few things we need to come to terms with. Like, this country has no intentions of paying what is owed to the Negro children of Israel, exiled here on the shores of North America. Let's not forget, Dr. Claude Anderson told us that racism is about a race. And to win that race you need tools. The Negro children of Israel exiled here on the shores of North America are the tools that they use to create their superiority in the race. My dear brothers and sisters, why would they ever give you anything that will help you challenge their so-called superiority? If they were going to do that, they would have done it by now. After World War II, America supported the Jews that survived the Holocaust in their demands for reparation from Germany and Austria for money that was owed to them from a French railways company as part of their reparations. In 1948, Congress issued reparations in the sum of $38 million to the Japanese survivors. It is said that after the Civil War the government paid reparations to the slave owners for monies they may have lost since the slaves had been freed. But not a dime for the hundreds of years of free labor from the slave. Now, watch this video, I will be right back to discuss it with you.
Have you ever questioned why the promises of reparations, meant to rectify centuries of racial injustice, remain unfulfilled? Imagine a group of children, the Negro children of Israel, exiled and brought to the shores of North America. Dr. Claude Anderson, a luminary in racial justice, once said that racism is a race. To win, one needs tools. He likened these displaced children to the very tools used to build a sense of superiority. Why then would those in power willingly offer a hand that could potentially challenge this so-called superiority? History has shown us that if there were intentions to do so, action would have already been taken. Drawing from the pages of the past, we find that after the atrocities of World War II, America stood by the Jewish survivors of the Holocaust. The country backed their demands for reparations from Germany and Austria and from a French railways company. These were debts owed, a recognition of suffering endured. In a similar vein, in 1948, Congress issued reparations amounting to $38 million to Japanese survivors. Yet, when it came to the descendants of slaves, the ledger of justice remained unbalanced. It is said that after the Civil War, the government paid reparations to slave owners for potential losses incurred when their slaves were freed. But not a single dime was paid for the hundreds of years of free labor extracted from the slaves themselves. Tariq Nasheed, an advocate for racial justice, has dedicated years to this cause. He has tirelessly sat before Congress, passionately explaining the why and how of the reparations owed to the African American community. To Nasheed, Mr. Glover, Dr. Anderson, Dr. Fraser, Dr. Yu, Johnson, Dr. Watkins, T.I., Killer Mike, and countless others who have been making the case, we owe a debt of gratitude. But the sobering reality is this: unless we take the US to the International Court and sue them for human rights violations, the bill of reparations may never be paid. The other option is to find a way to do it ourselves. The only instance of reparations received was when King Cyrus bestowed upon us buckets of gold and silver to rebuild Jerusalem after the Babylonian exile. As we navigate this journey towards justice, remember that education is the first step towards change. Understand the history, the struggle, and the fight for reparations. Share this knowledge, engage in conversations, and use your voice to advocate for racial justice. We have waited long enough. It's time to demand what is rightfully owed.
This is the Queen's Bishop Oshone asking you to like, follow, share and subscribe.